What I love to do is introduce the right people to the right people.
I assemble the smartest people I can think of or reach out to carry that conversation, and that's exactly what I've done today.
Please give my panel a round of applause. Welcome.
Okay, Jay Martin here, CEO of Cambridge House, and I am joined by Alex Whittier-Sharon, President and CEO of Empress Royalty. Alex, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Jay?
I'm really good. I'm excited to have you on because you're a brand new listing on the Toronto Venture Exchange, EMPR, listed on December 29th. So I'm keen to dive into the story, understand it better, introduce it to my audience, and get everybody up to speed on what you're up to. So I'm glad to have you on. And, you know, we're a royalty company. Let's just start at a super high level, only because, you know, I had a conversation with Randy Smallwood yesterday about investors sometimes just confusing, if they're new to the resource sector, confusing royalty models and streaming models and maybe using those two words interchangeably. Would you mind just providing some definition to that? What's the difference for anybody who's new to the space?
Absolutely. So with a royalty, a company like Empress, we would invest into a mining company partner. And for that investment, we would get a percentage of revenue going forward. Whereas a stream, we invest as well into the company, and then we get a percentage of either gold or silver at a discounted price. So similar, but slightly different. It really depends on the jurisdiction of the company, whether you structure a stream or a royalty for them. And there's also some advantages to doing streams and something where companies like a base metals company and gold and silver is a byproduct. So we're able to put a stream onto that byproduct. Got
it. Okay. So at a high level, let's just introduce the story for anybody who's looking at Empress. What are they buying when they purchase a share of Empress Royalty? We are a precious metal royalty streaming company, and we've currently got 14 royalties in our portfolio. We've got a pipeline with potential of $50 million. So you're really investing in a team. We're strategically partnering with a few groups, which I can get into more detail, but you're really partnering up with a team where we're looking to create royalty and streams for mining partner companies and getting exposure to gold and silver. Okay. So right now, more and more frequently, I'm hearing investors get a bit cagey about jurisdiction. I think rightly so. How much do you factor jurisdiction into your prospects right now when you're looking at your $50 million pipeline? Yeah, we're looking globally for our investments. So we're looking in Africa, we're looking in North America, South America, Asia. What's currently in the pipeline is a little bit more Latin American focused because we're seeing a lot of opportunities with high grade assets there. They just need a little bit of additional capital to get into production or to expand on their projects. Right. With our partners being Endeavour Financial out of London, they've had extensive experience in Africa and North and South America. With our relationship with Ascendo Banco, we're able to get access to Mexican opportunities, and they really know what's happening on the ground. So we're able to use the relationships that we have to understand the experience we've had in these countries to work in mining-friendly jurisdictions. Right. Yeah. Notice that actually the first thing I do when I take a look at a new story is always like who's steering the ship and who's the supporting cast, right? Who are the directors and then who's the money behind it, right? Because I think every retail investor, it's important to know, what your advantage is, right? Like what's your edge in this business? How are you going to stay ahead of the herd? And I'm super fortunate because I get to have conversations like this for a living that I get to know the people, right? And I lean on that really aggressively. And it may not be the best strategy, but it's mine, it serves me well, very well, actually. So, and when I had a peek, you've got a lot of participation from, you mentioned Endeavour Financial, in addition to Terra Capital, two very respected names in the business who've been around the block, So talk to me about that advantage and how that partnership came together. Yeah, absolutely. So Endeavour Financial, I'm ex-Endeavour Financial. We work closely with David Rhodes, who's the managing director of Endeavour Financial Group. He's our executive chairman, head of our investment committee. We're able to access their investment bankers, their cash flow modelers, their geologists, their mining engineers for the experience in identifying as well as negotiating and structuring these deals. And that has a really good global reach. We also have Terra Capital. Jeremy Bond started that in 2010. So that gives us access to Australian deal flow as well as Australian listed companies with international projects. And then, a good example of how we can work closely in one country is our relationship with Ascendo Banco. With our partners, we're able to access deal flow, but, there are also shareholders in the company and they own roughly 55% with management board of the company. So very much in line
with the goals of the shareholder to see, good returns from this company.
Okay. I may pull on that a little bit or it leads into my next question. Royalty companies have done really well in the last 12 months, right? And we've had a handful on the show here. Our audience definitely seems to enjoy them, and I understand why. You're a new listing, new royalty play, metals prices are increasing. So tell me about your competitive advantage. How is Empress going to be competitive in that landscape with so many royalty companies right now?
Yeah, you've got, roughly 20 mining royalty companies that exist right now. You've got the big boys, Wheaton, Franco-Nevada, the mid-tier guys, Sandstorm, Metalla, Maverick. Right. And then you've got the smaller players. And, there's certain strategies where they're more focused on the royalty generation. There's other ones that are more focused on third-party royalty acquisitions. We're not a royalty trading company. We are very much focused on the creation and working with mining partners to find the financing solutions, again, to get them into production or to expand on their projects.
Right. So it's kind of that investment bank mining company model, right?
Exactly.
Providing that growth capital, pushing the projects forward. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Now I want you to touch on the pipeline. You said $50 million in project pipeline, right? And so we're focused on Latin America. Any specific countries or projects that you're looking at right now?
Yeah, we've got, since they're $50 million at the total value size of what we're examining at the moment, we've got term sheets out on quite a lot of deals at the moment. They're ranging in investment size anywhere from $1 million up to $10 million. They're all silver.
Okay, that's the sweet spot?
Yeah, that's the kind of sweet spot for us for sure, is that sort of 1 to 10, 2 to 5 range. Okay. The projects we're looking at are all either in production or very near-term production within the next 6 to 12 months. So that will bring the revenue into our company to be able to pay dividends to our shareholders. And it's purely gold and silver focused. Those are the two commodities that we really are focused on.
And why is that? Why not look? I understand the core focus, how important it is to be focused. But why gold and silver? Why not look at copper or any expanded base metals?
I think it's just the multiples that you get on it. When you're looking at pure gold and silver, we just see such an uprise in potential and what that can become. And we want to stay true to the core of who we are, and that is focused on gold and silver opportunities. Okay.
So touch on the cap table for me. One of the number one questions that we get is, do you have skin in the game? So any light on insider management ownership would be beneficial.
Absolutely. We've got 72 million shares outstanding, no warrants, no options. We roughly have 55% of the company is owned by our strategic partners, management and board. So we're all heavily big shareholders in this. And then we have 20% of our investors are institutional investors that came in our last financing. Okay,
got it. So if we're looking for trigger points, near term, we're looking at 1 to 2 years. What can we expect from the news flow, Alex?
So we're going to continue to build on our portfolio. As we demonstrated, we closed the Candelaria Pinos project in November, and we're going to continue to do that, is to find and identify these investments that are cash flow producing, and just keep building on our portfolio, keeping it nice and diverse with the global reach, and then being able to pay dividends, establish a dividend policy, and pay dividends to our shareholders.
Okay, excellent. All right, look, it's been great having you on and getting to know the Empress story a little bit. Popped on my radar, I think, from a mutual friend who said, take a look at this. And it's always nice to find something first, right? December 29th, you guys just listed. And I think you're probably just about to get the market's attention. So I'm glad to have you on our show first. Introduce you to our audience. And I'd love to do it again sometime.
Absolutely. I'd love to update you. We've got some more deals coming through.
Perfect, Alex. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.